This is a regenerative story. Before the healing, there was heartbreak. Before the rising, there was a fall. This is Season 1 of the Happy Regeneration Room, a season we call The Sorrow I Found Sorrowing. In this first episode, we return to the day the sun bled. The day I lost the only hero I had ever known. This is the beginning of the end, and the end of the beginning. Welcome to Episode 1, The Crimson Sunset.
Mournful ballad, deep sordid and soulful.
I remember the sunset that day. It wasn't just red, it was bleeding. The sky seemed to be weeping, and maybe so was I. But back then, I didn't know what that feeling was. I was only 10. We had just returned to Rwanda 2 days earlier, after years of exile, crossing borders, camps, silence. We were finally home. At least that's what they told me. But there was no home. We were staying in someone else's old house. Mud walls, a leaking roof, goats sleeping in the corner. Still, it was better than tense. It was something. My father looked different when we came back. Tired. He didn't laugh as much. He would step outside at night, stand under the stars, and say nothing. On the second morning, he left. He said he was going to see his brothers, to talk about land, cows, the things that once belonged to him before the war tore everything apart. We didn't know that would be the last time we'd see him whole. Later that afternoon, I was outside playing with other children, chasing each other through the dust, when I heard voices, loud voices, grown men shouting. Curious, we moved closer and I saw them, my father and his brothers, in a storm of rage. They hit him, one blow after another. He was strong, but not enough. I stood frozen, not understanding, not breathing. My cousin held my hand, trembling. We watched until he fell. He didn't die right away. Mama ran to him, screaming, begging. She tried to carry him, but he was too heavy, and the road to the nearest health center was too long, broken, washed out, empty. I remember her voice, whispering, "Stay with me. Please, stay." But before we reached the clinic, he let go.
Go too broken, fate too cruel. Life slipped away like a whispered chill. A brother's greed, a shattered land, justice lost in blood.
We buried him ourselves. No ceremony, just a borrowed hoe and trembling hands. The ground was dry, unforgiving. Mama dug until her fingers bled. I placed a small wooden carving he once made for me in the grave. It was the only thing I had left of him.
We dug his grave with trembling hands. No priest to bless, no songs to stand. Just tears that fell into the dirt. A mother's grief, a daughter's hurt.
That night, we didn't sleep. We were told to leave the next morning by the same men who killed him. They stood at the door, faces like stone, told us we didn't belong, that we had nothing here, that we should leave or else. I wanted to fight them, but I was only 10. All I could do was hold Mama's hand. We walked for days, Mama carrying my baby sister on her back, my little brother crying, saying his legs hurt. I tried to be brave, but sometimes I cried too. There were no roads, only winding paths through bush and thorns. We met others, some silent, some lost, some carrying their own pain. Mama didn't talk much. But at night, she would hum soft lullabies I barely remembered.
No courts, no laws, no righteous hand, only graves that mark the damned. Ooh, the earth remembers, the wind still cries, every stone where he once stood sighs. Ooh, though the night is cold and white, I will rise, I will fight, I will keep him alive.
Finally, after days of walking, we reached her home, her mother's house. It was small, even poorer than the one we had just been chased from. But when my grandmother saw us, she dropped the jerry can she was carrying and ran to Mama. They cried, they held each other. Then Mama told her what happened, and for the first time since the sunset, she broke. "He's gone," she said. "They killed him, and I couldn't save him." There were no phones, no letters, no warnings, just us, arriving like ghosts, carrying the scent of death and the weight of grief.
Hunger called, and we obeyed, empty hands in the heat of day. A mother's strength, a child's shame, living ghosts without a name.
That night, I lay on a mat beside my brother and sister. The roof leaked in one corner. The goats shuffled outside, and I stared at the ceiling, seeing nothing but red. The sunset wouldn't leave my mind. It had marked something, the end of one life and the beginning of something else. I didn't know it then, but that crimson sky was the first chapter of the story I was born to tell.
Ooh, the earth remembers, the wind still cries, every stone where he once stood sighs. Ooh, though the night is cold and white, I will rise, I will fight, I will keep him alive.
This is Regenerative Story. I am the boy who watched the sun bleed. This was episode 1, The Crimson Sunset. And this is just the beginning.
Deep, solid, and soulful, haunting stream. Go too broken, fate too cruel. Life slipped away like a whispered chill. A brother's greed, a shattered land, justice lost in blood-stained sand. No courts, no laws, no righteous hand, only graves that mark the damned. Ooh, the earth remembers, the wind still cries, every stone where he once stood sighs. Ooh, though the night is cold and white, I will rise, I will fight, I will keep him alive. We dug his grave with trembling hands, no priest to bless, no songs to stand, just tears that fell into the dirt. A mother's grief, a daughter's hurt. Hunger called, and we obeyed, empty hands in the heat of day. A mother's strength, a child's shame, living ghosts without a name. Ooh, the earth remembers, the wind still cries, every stone where he once stood sighs. Ooh, though the night is cold and white, I will rise, I will fight, I will keep him alive. By the fire, she spoke my name. hope still burns in dying coals. I'll carry him in my soul. The earth remembers, the wind still cries. Every stone where he once stood inside. Though the night is cold and white, I will rise. I will fight, I will keep him alive. By the fire, she spoke my name. Munezero, child of pain, but hope still burns in dying coals. I'll carry